The movie begins in an empty field where a couple arrives with the intention of playing a prank on their friends. They know that their friends will soon come to collect a scarecrow, which is surrounded by terrifying legends claiming it kills people. However, the couple does not believe these stories. They bring scary masks to frighten their friends as part of their plan. First, they glance at the scarecrow standing behind them and then move toward a nearby shed. According to their plan, they want to climb onto the shed using an old wooden ladder. However, the ladder breaks and they fall badly. The wooden floor beneath them also cracks, and wooden planks pierce the girl's leg. Blood flows like water and she panics. Suddenly, a strange wooden entity starts absorbing the blood. When she realizes that something is moving, she screams in horror. Before the boy can react to her scream, a bizarre wooden tentacle emerges and stabs him in the head, killing him instantly. Soon after, the entity also kills the girl. It becomes clear that the terrifying stories about the scarecrow are true. It had been imprisoned inside the shed, but their fall accidentally freed it. Shortly after, their group of friends arrives at the location, unaware of the horrors that have just taken place. They discuss an annual Scarecrow festival, which was originally held in the fields but has now been moved to the city due to the land being sold. Despite this, they decide to take a scarecrow from the field for the festival. One of the students asks the professor about the legend of the killer scarecrow. Professor dismisses it as mere stories and urges them to focus on their task. Meanwhile, Aaron, one of the group members, has invited a friend who owns the fields, while Kristen has called another friend, Eddie. Apart from the university group of 5 or 6 people, a few more individuals are also present. While they talk, Aaron hears one of the students screaming. When they rush to check, they find that their friends have tied him to the scarecrow as a prank. However, the pranksters themselves are missing. As Aaron starts freeing the student, another student, Beth, is suddenly dragged away by an unseen force. Aaron follows, instructing his students not to move, but they do not listen and wander off. Beth is rescued by Kristen, but immediately after, Kristen herself is pulled by something. Aaron manages to grab her hand and save her with great difficulty. They rush back to the scarecrow, where the rest of the group is gathered. However, Calvin is missing. As they move forward, they find Calvin lying on the ground. They help him up and quickly escape from the field. The group takes shelter inside a nearby shed and locks the door, believing they are now safe. However, loud banging noises begin from behind the door. They decide to seal the windows and doors, but before they can do so, the mutilated body of one of their friends suddenly appears, hanging from the window. Someone has brutally murdered her and beheaded her body. The horrific sight leaves them in shock and terror. Before they can react further, the body is pulled away by an unseen force. Overcome with fear, they continue sealing the windows. Kristen tries to call the police, but there is no signal. Meanwhile, Kevin searches for weapons to defend themselves and finds a gun with a single bullet and a can of kerosene. They decide to use them for protection. As they struggle to comprehend who is after them, one of the girls suggests that it is the scarecrow. The place has long been considered haunted because of it. Possibility that the old stories are true terrifies them. However, Aaron dismisses these fears, suggesting that a wild animal might be responsible for the killings. Beth and Kristen, who were previously attacked by an unknown entity, describe its appearance to Calvin. Calvin sketches it and the group is horrified. The figure in the sketch closely resembles a scarecrow but also looks like a ghostly figure. Upon seeing the sketch, their fear intensifies. Beth's condition is getting worse. She thinks that if things are this bad during the day, the night will be even more dangerous. The creature's powers will also become stronger. She tells everyone that their best option is to escape, but there is no clear way out. The only vehicle they have is a bus, but its keys were with the girl who was murdered. The other option is Eddie's truck, but it isn't working. Aaron decides to take the risk and try to start the truck, as it is their last hope. He warns others that if they all run outside at once, someone will definitely die. Beth, who is the most terrified, don't care about anyone else's safety. She insists on getting into the truck first. Desperate to save herself, she begs her friend Calvin to do something. Without thinking about his own safety, Calvin jumps out of the window and gets to the truck before Aaron can even leave. When he tries to start it, the truck doesn't work. Suddenly, the scarecrow appears at the truck's window for the first time. Calvin panics. His friends rush outside to help him. Aaron fires his gun, but it backfires. Kristen throws kerosene and fire toward the Scarecrow, hoping to destroy it, but instead their last hope, the truck, catches fire and is destroyed. Now everyone is outside and have no way to go back in. The Scarecrow has blocked the entrance. They run towards another shed, the same one where the creature was locked up earlier. The floor is weak, and as soon as they step inside, it collapses under their weight. There, they see the bodies of their two dead friends in terrible condition. One of them has been half-eaten, most likely by the Scarecrow. They realize that the creature was locked here before, and if they stayed, they would become its next victims. They decide to climb back up using a rope tied to a wooden beam. One by one, they climb out of the shed. Just then, a police officer arrives after noticing the burning truck. He enters the fields to investigate. The group sees him and rushes out, hoping to warn him, but before they can, it is already too late. The Scarecrow emerges from the ground. The officer is terrified. He tries to shoot at the creature and run into a nearby shed. The group hears his screams. It is clear that he has been killed, though they feel bad for the officer, but his car is now their chance to escape. But the car keys are in his pocket. They carefully enter the shed to retrieve them. Just as they get the keys, the Scarecrow attacks Kristen. Its wooden tentacle-like limbs wrap around her face. One of the boys grabs a shotgun and fires at the creature, unaware that bullets won't harm it. Instead, the attack only makes the Scarecrow angrier, kills him instantly. The remaining 5 survivors run to the police car and try to escape, but before they can drive away, the Scarecrow appears in front of the car. Eddie, who is driving, tries to run it over, but the creature flips the car to the side. Car crashes into a tree, damaging it. Fuel starts leaking. Eddie, badly injured, is bleeding. Kristen takes off her shirt to help stop the bleeding, and Aaron wraps it around his wounds. They think they have finally killed the Scarecrow, but suddenly the creature grabs Kristen from behind. They realize their only chance of survival is to get out of the car and run, but Eddie is too injured to move. He makes a final sacrifice. He pushes himself out of the car and grabs the Scarecrow, pulling it down with him. He lights his lighter, igniting the leaked gasoline. Car explodes, taking Eddie with it. Beth is too terrified to look back. She keeps running, leaving the others behind. Aaron and the rest soon reach the same place, a house. Desperate for help, they knock on the door. There is no response. Inside, they see a telephone. It is their only hope of calling for help. Kristen breaks the door and the group rushes inside. The loud noise wakes up the house owner, who grabs his gun, thinking they are intruders. But before he can react, they quickly explain their situation, how they have barely escaped from the fields. Kristen recognizes the house and tells the old man that those fields belong to her. When she mentions her father's name, the man immediately recognizes her. She tells him about the demonic creature that is chasing them, killing their friends one by one. The old man understands everything immediately. He reveals that the Scarecrow isn't after everyone. It is after Kristen. 100 years ago, Kristen's family captured the Scarecrow to stop it from killing their people. In revenge, the creature has returned to hunt down Kristen. No one knows where the Scarecrow has originally come from, but they have tried every possible way to kill it. Nothing has worked. That's why her family locked it away instead. The old man explains that the yearly festival is held to remind people of the creature and keep them alert. But now, after 100 years, it has somehow been released again. No one knows how. He decides to call the police for help, but the phone line is dead. Then, outside the house, his dogs start barking violently, as if they have seen something terrifying. The old man goes outside to check, warning the group that whoever stays with Kristen will die. The moment he steps out, the Scarecrow emerges from the ground. Its tentacles grab him, and before he can react, it kills him. The group is now even more terrified. Beth, the most cowardly of them all, panics. She suggests handing Kristen over to the Scarecrow to save themselves. The rest refuses. Enraged, Beth grabs a knife and storms outside. Meanwhile, the others plan to escape using the old man's tractor. But before they can leave, they hear Beth screaming for help. When they run outside, they see that Beth wasn't in danger. She has set a trap to lure Kristen out. The moment Kristen steps outside, Beth holds a knife to her throat. She warns others that if anyone interferes, she will kill Kristen herself. Then, Beth calls out to the Scarecrow. It responds immediately. Aaron acts fast. He grabs a rope and loops it around the Scarecrow's tentacle, then ties the other end to a thresher machine. The machine pulls the Scarecrow away from Kristen, but as it gets dragged in, it grabs Beth's leg. Beth screams in terror. The machine crushes both Beth and the Scarecrow, but while Beth is completely destroyed, the Scarecrow survives. Now only 3 survivors remain. They spot a motorbike nearby. As Aaron and Kristen check it, the Scarecrow stabs Maria's leg with one of its sharp limbs. Hearing her screams, they rush to help, pulling the Scarecrow's tentacle out of her leg. The 3 try to escape, but the Scarecrow is too fast. Kristen realizes that the creature only wants her. She comes up with a distraction. Running into a cattle barn, she cuts her own hand and smears her blood on the cows. Then she sets them free. The Scarecrow, sensing her blood, chases after the animals instead. This gives the group a chance to escape. By the time they reach a forest, the sun has already risen. They think they are finally safe, but suddenly the Scarecrow attacks again. Stabs Maria from behind, killing her instantly. Aaron, injured, keeps running with Kristen. As they run, they spot an old cruise ship on the river. It looks abandoned, but it is their only hope. They board the ship, but to their horror, the Scarecrow is already there, waiting for them. This time, Aaron does not run. He grabs the Scarecrow and jumps into the water with it. Kristen screams in grief. She thinks Aaron is dead, but moments later, he swims back up, alive. Kristen is relieved, thinking the nightmare is finally over, but she was wrong. Out of nowhere, the Scarecrow's tentacle shoots out and stabs Aaron in the back, killing him instantly. Kristen is the last survivor now, but she is done running. Furious, she grabs an axe and runs below deck. The Scarecrow follows her, but as soon as it steps inside, Kristen sets the entire ship on fire. She escapes as the flames trap the Scarecrow inside. Her family only locked it away, but Kristen has burned it to the ground. Finally, she is free. Or was she? As the flames consume the ship, the story ends with a chilling question. Is the Scarecrow really dead? I hope you liked my video. If you did, please like and share it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We keep bringing such content regularly. Peace.